in the realms of fantasy. In this meditation, we are going to explore some of the fantastical parts of our world. Here there be dragons, fairies, and all sorts of magical creatures. Ride a unicorn, talk with a giant, or discover treasures with a dragon. If you can imagine it, you can create it. Let's give it a shot. Find a nice quiet spot. Get comfortable. Grow your roots strong and happy, and take a few deep breaths in and out. In this meditation, we are going to exercise our newfound skills by imagining all the fantastical creatures of our world by visiting their world. Imagine you are on a rooftop. A nice, peaceful view of your town is laid out before you, lying there quiet and wrapped in the folds of a peaceful sleep. You look off to the moon, and you see a figure flying high up in the air, unseen by any but you. The figure gets closer. You squint to get a better look and see 4 legs. The creature gets closer and closer until it lands right beside you on the rooftop. It's a Pegasus. The creature greets you with a soft nudge of its nose to your shoulder. You reach out and pet his nose, saying hello. The Pegasus bends down, and you climb up onto his back, taking a gentle hold of his hair. Then you take off, towards the ocean. The Pegasus flies for what seems like hours. You fly high over the water, the sun starting to peek out over the horizon, setting the water shimmering like 1,000 jewels. The Pegasus flies straight ahead, and off in the distance you notice there is some land, an island. You see birds close to the island, and off in the water there are dolphins jumping in and out of the waves. The island is covered in a lush greenery, and in the distance a huge mountain looms over the whole island. This is a place of peace and beauty. The Pegasus lands gently on the beach next to a stream, and you decide to follow the stream into the island. You thank the Pegasus with a hug, and the Pegasus agrees to bring you back home after your trip. You start your walk up the creek and notice a hillside off to the left. The hillside seems to be smoking. You decide to investigate. As you get closer, you notice the ground seems to be hot. It almost feels like walking on hot coals. The entrance to the cave is right in front of you now. Walking up a short mound, you enter into the side of the hill. The walls are really bright for a cave. The cave seems to be glowing gold and silver. You go in a few feet and see a tail laying in the middle of the path. It looks like a gigantic lizard's tail. The tail moves, and you notice the owner of the tail is looking at you. Her eyes are a deep, rich red. She takes 2 steps up to you and lowers her head down to your level. "Hello," she says. "Do not be afraid." You take a good look at her. She is enormous, impressive, beautiful, powerful. Yep, she's a dragon. You take a bow. It just seems right. And you say hello back. She smiles at you and offers you one of her jewels. You graciously accept. Take a good look at your jewel. What kind of stone is it? What color? How does it feel? You give her another bow with a thank you and return back outside. Putting the jewel into your pocket, you continue exploring the island. A music seems to come from just up the creek. You follow it. It takes you onto a path that leads away from the creek and into a tropical forest. You follow the path just a short while, noticing all the different plants here, until you come up to a long row of tables that are laid out all over the forest floor. "Hello," says a voice off to your left. You look to see who the speaker is and see a fairy setting up plates and flowers on the table. You say, "Hello," back and ask if you can help. You have fun helping your new fairy friend setting the tables as you throw plates and flowers back and forth to each other, never missing a step. The fairy thanks you for your help and tells you where there's a unicorn who grants wishes in the forest. You decide to head out and find the unicorn. You follow the fairy's directions, past the rainbow waterfalls, the giant swim holes, and the elves' zip lines, until you reach an amazingly beautiful clearing in the middle of the island. The sun seems to just fill this area as if to say, "Look at me, I'm here, and I'm looking good." Right in the center of the clearing, soaking in the sun, is the unicorn. You walk up slowly and hand the unicorn a beautiful flower you had found in the forest. The unicorn thanks you and roots the flower back into the forest floor, where it can grow happy and healthy there forever. The unicorn asks if there is anything you would like to wish for. You say yes. Then you take a few minutes thinking about what you might want to wish for. Once you've decided, you whisper your wish into the unicorn's ears. You give the unicorn a great big hug and thank her for the wish. As you make your way back through the forest to the spot the Pegasus said he would be, you take in all the views of the island. There are gigantic butterflies that fly high above your head, way up in the sky with the eagles. Mermaids swim in the cave below the path as you make your way down to the beach. There are giant footprints in the sand, and a giant family off in the distance building sandcastles. The sky is a brilliant blue, the sun a glowing orb in the sky. You find the Pegasus waiting for you in the shade of a palm tree, drinking from the creek you had followed earlier. He lifts his head and smiles at you. You smile back and greet him with a big hug. He kneels down so you can climb onto his back, and within moments, you're off towards your rooftop. As you come back into yourself, remember the magic that resides within each and every one of us. Magic that comes with just a thought. Lots of love.